Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. I as always am Grestar and this is more Killer Sudoku presented by Cracking the Cryptic. So if you watched my last video, good. If you haven't, I would recommend that. One, because I beat this puzzle right here in 85 minutes, which I've of course edited down at least a little bit. I haven't done it yet. I just finished that and then jumped into recording this next one. But I also explained like the basics of Sudoku. And so yeah, it might be useful to watch that one. But now we're going to jump into this one. It doesn't have a name. This one was named LOL. This is just puzzle number 56. So let's do it. What I like to do to start these is I like to go through each individual cage and writing down, like each of their possibilities. Just if I don't do that, it messes with me. So, we can see right here, this one's just 2. So I'm gonna do that really quickly. I'm gonna go through, I'm gonna put down all the possibilities for each cell first, and then we can actually get started eliminating things and trying to find, more numbers we could put in, like this handy dandy 2 here. So I'll be back. There we have all of the possibilities. I'm going to just get rid of the 2 and add it back in so it gets rid of all the 2s that it can see. So now we can deal with this 7, 8, 9. So let's go through all of this column, get rid of the 7, 8, 9 present there. Let's get rid of the 1, 2s, and 3s in this row. 1, 2s, and 4s in this row. And this one, the 5, 7, 8, 9, even though it bends, it can see this, all of them. So we can get rid of the 5 that's in here. And I think right now that's all that I can get rid of that like really jumps out at me. So now we can start looking through other things, other cells. So with this one, what did we get rid of? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7, 8, 9 up here. But this is the only cell that has 7, 8, or 9, which means that these, whatever it is, it cannot contain both 7 and 8, or 7 and 9, or 8 and 9. So we can get rid of this one. We can get rid of this one. Which I think still gives us like everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. But it was a starting point. Now let's look through others. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 3 with 7, 8, 9. So I don't think we can do anything really with that. Like we could say it must have 4, 5, and 6, but I think that covers everything. Actually, this one doesn't have 4, 5, or 6. So we got rid of that, but we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All as possibilities. So let's move on to the next one. Nothing is eliminated from here. It almost needs a 1, but not quite. If it did, we could get rid of... Actually, because it extends, we couldn't get rid of anything. We could get rid of this cell, but it doesn't have a 1 in it, so that doesn't really matter. Oh, actually, back to this one. It's similar to the 7, 8, 9 that was up here, but it's 1, 2, 3. We only have 1, 2, 3 here. So whatever we look at here cannot have... but we don't have one with 1, 2, 2, 3, or 1, 3. We could have, though. We could have gotten rid of that. That would have been nice. Let's look at you instead. Doesn't look like you have anything. All right, I think I'm already going to have to start looking at adding cages up and seeing what we can do with those. Ah, but these are tricky because they all extend into another box, and in such rude ways. Like just a little bit, where it's like this one almost stays within this box, but there's just like the one cell that peeks out, which would actually be good if there weren't a bunch of other things doing like the exact same thing, So like, let's say I want to try to capture like just these first 2, because that would mean 90. Because, since each row has to add up to 45, we're having 2 rows here, so that would be 90. But without knowing the sums of the cages, we can't do much of that. So since we're capturing this cage, these are the 2 like danglers off of it, and this is the 1 dangler off of this one, and then these 2 off of that. So these 5 cells add up to 15. I don't know if we can actually do anything because they of the way that they extend, but let's see. Let's try it. 5. They add up to 15. So these, they presumably have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now some people might hate me for this, but I'm actually going to like put those digits in to see if any of them work. And then if they do, cool. If they don't, like, I mean, either way, I won't keep them in. I'll try to keep solving it, but I just want to confirm. So it didn't work, yeah. Because again, like this was saying they have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it was these two, that one, and these two. So we can't trust that because of the way that it extends and everything. Similarly, I think, like, I don't think we could do this because of how high off that goes. 16 more than 45, so it's 4 cells that are 16. We could try it. It might be better just because of how extendy it is. But either way, we have so many different combinations that are possible with this one. I don't think we could get any real information with that. Let's start off simple. This cell, or this cage, is entirely contained within this box. It's only 14, and unfortunately, if you only have, like, one cage, it doesn't give you all the, like, you know, this many digits less or whatever than 45. So we actually have to do our own math. But we know that it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 digits. And with 14, that brings us down to 35, 31. So then everything outside has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then either 8 or 9. Oh no, sorry, excuse me, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then either 5, 7, 9 or 6, 7, 8. And so why that almost mattered was we almost, if it were, either possibility had to include 5 and 6, like we could get rid of the 5 and 6 here. But then that would be 8 and 9, and that wouldn't work. That wouldn't add up to 14. But because they only have 1, 2, 3, 4 in common, and there's no 1, 2, 3, 4 in, 14, it doesn't do us any good. In 14, as in, like, the two numbers that could add up to it. I'm still going to go around and try that a little bit because it could work in other places. So it's like here, these two cells are 10, which means that these 7 have to add up to 35. So we're left with, do they not have, okay, they have a 5 in common, and that's it. And we already couldn't have a 5 in the 10. Son of a gun. It knows what we're trying to do. Okay, what about 7? So you have to be then 28. There's 28. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, no, but this one is good. This one is good. Biakuas has that up to 28. Oh no, it's 38. No, I'm just dumb. Dang it. Dang it! The possibilities are bigger now. Yeah, 7 plus 28 only would have been 35. The whole box has to be 45. That was just me messing up. So they have to have 7, 8, and 9. But again, the issue with that is that this 7 doesn't have 7, 8, and 9. Like, that's already it's already used up. Well, we can at least do a little bit of, like, some small cleanup. Since this one is 2, none of these could be 2, So this one can't be 2, which means that this one can't be 9. Because, this would have to, if this were 9, this would have to be 2 in order to equal 11. So we can get rid of that 9 at least. This one can't be 2, so then this one can't be 5, because that would be necessary to add up to 7 there. This has already been done for me. This has already been done for me. Cool, cool. I mean, I think that's all the cleanup that we can do with that too. And I'm gonna start using this just like clicky tool, to see where the numbers could possibly be. Start with each one just to see if we can eliminate any based upon like the row, column, and box kind of deal. Like if this had been shifted over one more to the left, then we could eliminate 1, 2, and 3 from all these, It's just the fact that it's not contained within this one box that we can't do that. So we want to see if we can find things like that in other places. If this over here did not have a 1, then that would mean that this row here in this box was the only one with a 1, and we could get rid of the ones here. But that's not the case. Just pointing out the kind of thing that we're looking for. I am not seeing any that match that circumstance. We've gotten close in a lot of instances. Like here, we're close again. If this were not a 9, then that would mean that one of these 3 would have to be 9, so these 2 could not be. But, not the case. So we need to do something different. Let's go through this real quick just to make sure. Based upon this, we know that this cage needs to have a 3, a 5, or a 6. Like, at least one of those. So this one has a 6, 5, 6, 3, 5. Yeah. Yep, so that's good. About 4, 5, 6 in this one. 4, 5, 6, 4, 6, 5, 6, 4, 5. Yep, that's fine. Just want to look for things without a lot of possibilities. You know, I think what we're probably gonna have to do is go through, like, the little cages like this and see what happens if it's 5, 9 or if it's 6, 8, you know? Like, because if it's 5, 9, then nothing else in this box can be 5, 9, and nothing else in this row can be 5, 9. Which would mean that this cage would not be completable. Because if none of these three could be 5, 9, then both 5 and 9 would have to be in this cell, and that's obviously not possible. So then this one has to be 8 and 6. Which means that these can't be 8 and 6, and these cannot be 8 and 6. Hopefully I'm not wrong on that, but it sounds right to me right now. So I'm going with it. Oh, dang it. I used the wrong tool, and so it didn't select everything the way that I thought it did. Okay. 6, 8. And then for good measure, 6, 8. Okay. Now everything should be accurate. So what can we do with that? I mean, now I want to check those numbers and see if anything else opened up. No, it doesn't look like anything did, I don't think. But I'm pretty confident right now because of the whole 5, 9 thing that we tested. So that was good. The unfortunate thing is that the other cages that were like, that have some cell, at least one in this box, have other cells drifting out. Like there's this with 3 cells outside the box. This with 4 cells outside the box, this one with 2. And so even though we got rid of 6 and 8, like this one could still have both 6 and 8. They would just be here, you know? So it didn't necessarily like get us that much closer to solving things. It was a good find for sure. But I don't have an answer based off of it. And I don't know if we could do the same kind of thing that we did with this, with like 7. Because 14 only had 2 possibilities. It was either 5, 9, which we ruled out, or it was 6, 8. But this one has 3 possibilities. And so that would mean that if we wanted to do the same kind of thing with like this, this 14 or this 29, which I don't think we could with the 29 because it has 2 that are out of its reach, out of the 7's reach. I think it would have to be this 14. It would just have to cover even more combinations. So let's see, 16, 25, 34. 16, 25. So like if we did 1, 6, then this would get rid of like these 2 possibilities. If we did 2, 5, it would get rid of these 2 possibilities. And if we did 3, 4, it would get rid of these 2 possibilities. So the issue is that none of them, there isn't one that they can all get rid of, Like 1, 6 doesn't, 1, 6, 2, 5, 3, 4 doesn't get rid of like this one. All of them like collectively, So I don't think that there's anything that we can remove from that. And I think I have to keep looking. Oh, I think I just missed this. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we don't have any instance of those numbers until here. So I think we could say 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's something we can do. So I'm going to commit to that. And I am going to change all of these to 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's nice. Oh, also with this being 6, apparently it didn't get rid of that being an 8 as a possibility, which means that this one has to be an... Wow, so grumble grumble. I trusted that it collected, but I must have just missed this one cell. So that was actually probably more helpful than the 1, 2, 3, 4 thing, but it did at least let me notice it. So that's good. Okay, it's not looking like it unlocked any other super neat potential. I mean, actually, that's not true. This one has to be 8 now. Because 8 is not anywhere else in this box. It's only somewhere within this cage. So this box needs, or this cage needs to have an 8 in its solution. So that's good. Aside from that, we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all as possibilities. So, I mean, one thing we could say, this is the only box that has, or the only cell that has a 1 and the only cell that has a 2 in that cage. So we can't have any possibilities, oh, and a 4, that have a 1, 2, or a 1, 4, or a 2, 4. 3, 4 is fine, because there are 3s up here as well. But that did get rid of some more good stuff for us, which is definitely nice. We're left with, I think, the full thing, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. So we still cannot eliminate any actual numbers from this cage, which is unfortunate, but still gradually making progress. Oh, that also means that this one can't have an 8, because there's the 8 in this box, and then the 7, 8. Like, we got rid of 8 from the 7, 8, 9 here. So this cage cannot contain an 8 anymore, so get rid of all of those that have an 8. We're left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. That tracks. Can't have any that have both 7 and 9, but we've already gotten rid of that before. Has to have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3, 5, 6, but I think, yeah, all of these match that. Okay, cool. Because we know we need the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4 in this cage, I was able to get rid of 1, 5, 6, 7, but we still have all of those digits in the other combinations, so we don't get rid of anything. We just know it's not 1, 5, 6, 7. In these combinations, there's never a case where we have more than 2 1, 2, 3, 4s, you know? Because it's like 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4. It's never like 1, 2, 3. We never see that in here. So I think that we can eliminate 1, 2, 3, 4 from these two. So that clears up a little bit for us, which is good. I mean, now we know that if it is an 8, if we do need an 8 in whatever combination we end up with, like it's here, we already knew that, but we cleaned it up is what I'm saying. So with this cage, we do need 1, 2, or 3. And since this is the only one that can have 1, 2, or 3, it has to have 1, 2, or 3. So I think I'm looking at this one now. 7 needs to have 16, 25, or 34. This 14 cage, if we're doing 16, 25, 34, I don't think it can be this one. Because if it's 16, it can't have the 1. Right? I mean, yeah, well, oh no. Oh no, hold on. No, because it could technically have the 1 here. I would need to get rid of 2 digits. Just to continue explaining that, 16, 25, 34. You know, we could see like the 1 for the 16, the 2 from the 25, the 4 from the 34, you know. So all of those can get rid of 1 digit, but that 1 digit could appear over here. Because like if it were 16, then the 1 could go there. If it were, you know, the 7 were 2 and 5, then the 2 could go there. And then, you know, 1, 4, 7 there. Dang, yeah, okay. Thought I was onto something, but I was 1 cell off. Don't know if this will amount to anything, but I want to try this. No, I think it will just give us 1, 2, 3, 4. But just, I'll go through with it just to prove that. So we can look at these 5 cells. Normally we couldn't because we wouldn't know what this one down here is, because the cell, you know, has that turn in it. But since we know that that's 8, we know that these 3 are 21. You know, 5, 7, 9, yeah. And then we have the 14. And so these 4 cells need to equal, it was 21, so that's 31, 35, so these need to equal 10. Yep, And 4 cells to equal 10 need to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. So hey, confirming that what I did over here, making them 1, 2, 3, 4, that was correct. Just by the logic of it. But I mean, I could show you with this too. 4 digits equaling to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Cool. what do I do? Because the issue is, this is the only number aside from this 2 that we've found so far, so I can't do that same kind of thing anywhere else. As far as I can, think right now. Just you wait. When we figure it out, it's gonna be so satisfying. Just you wait. So with this cage, we can at least get rid of 1, 2, 3, 8. Because the 7 would have to be either 1, 6, 2, 5, or 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And since the 8 can only be in one cell, that just wouldn't be possible. And so if we can get rid of that possibility, that means that this cage cannot contain an 8, period. So we can get rid of it from that cell, which means that the 8 is either here or here. And then in this column, either here or one of these two. So, we haven't learned a ton yet based on that. But it was a step in the right direction for sure. I mean, based upon that, we can at least say either this cage or, well, I mean, I guess we know that this cage has an 8. Like, this one has to have an 8. But it doesn't necessarily have to be here. It's just either way, this cage or this cage has to have an 8 in this box. Which I don't know if that actually, like, is anything that we can work with. Because, again, we did know that 8 had to be one of these 3. We just already knew that. Huh. Like, if these two, if either of these are 8, then this one has to be 8. But if this one's 8, like, honestly, this one could still be 8, as, this one from this cage. And then you could say similarly, if this one is 8, then this cage cannot have an 8. Or sorry, no, if this one's 8, then this cage must have an 8. If these are 8, or one of them, then this cage cannot. So, like, they're definitely linked together, but I don't think that we can get any more from that just yet. So now I'm going to look at this 11 and how it interacts with this 19. Just because we have, like, the 1, 2, 3, 4 up here and the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 right here, which lines up with the 11 cage. So we have 2, 9, 3, 8, 4, 7, 5, 6. Because, like, if we do 2, 9, then these cannot be 2, 9. Which means that, like, we could get rid of everything with a 9 kind of thing. But obviously we have the other possibilities too, 3, 8, 4, 7, 5, 6. So no, I don't think we can actually do anything with that. Mostly because in cases of, like, if the 11 cage were to be 3, 8, we'd be getting rid of the 8, but that doesn't come up super often, in these. Like, most of them have a 3 and then something that's not an 8. Like this 2, 3, 5, 9 one. And having a 3 in the 11 wouldn't get rid of 3 in this 19 cage. It would just make it go there. And I think in every instance where that was the case, you could just have, like, 1, 3, whatever, Like 2, 3, 5, 9, 2, 3, 5, 9. It works just fine. So it was close in some cases, but I don't think we could actually get rid of anything with that. Man, the last one we were able to finish 20 minutes from now. This one, it still looks like we're just starting. Well, while I was hoping to avoid using a hint, I guess it's a good time to show that feature of this app, so let's try it out. Let's get a hint. Alright, must contain 5 or 9. Which one? Row 2, column 2, 3, 4. So row 2, columns 5 and 6. Must be 6, 8. And row 3, column 2 is 8. Cool. Alright, so we already got what hint 1 was. What's number 2? Row 1, column 2 must be one more than the sum of row 8 and 9, column 1. What? Why? Hold on. Let's see. So row 1, column 2, which is this one, Oh, I mean, well, this one in particular. Yeah, must be one more than the sum of row 8 and row 9, column 1. Which is row 8 and row 9, column 1. Well, why does it have to be that? Then the sum of these. Okay, I mean, so that could mean then 1 plus 4 is 5. 1 plus 5 is 6. 1 plus 6 is 7. So 5, 6, 7. 6, 7, 8. 7, 8, 9. So 5 is the minimum. 9 is the maximum, I guess. So it cannot be 6, this one is talking about. And any less would not allow row 9, column 1 to be filled. What? What does that mean? 5 is the minimum. Why does that mean we have to get rid of 6? Row 1, column 2 must be one more than the sum of A9. But the sum of row 8 and 9, column 1 is between 5 and 9. So why couldn't it be 6? If this were 5, which is possible because of the 1 and the 4, then 6 should be a thing. I don't understand this hint. I hate when I get a hint and I don't even understand what the hint is, because by the time I use a hint, it's because I need help. And so when I don't understand the hint, it's like, why though? Like, why does it have to be one more than the sum of row 8 and 9, column 1? I would much rather the hints teach me than just tell me things, you know? Like, I'm really glad with the hints for the most part, because they're not just like, this goes here. Usually it provides logic with it, and it is providing logic here, but I don't understand where the basis of this logic is coming from. I don't know, like, why these two would need to be one less, you know, when combined, than this random one up here. In trying to logic through it, let's see what we can do. So, we know that this right here is 24. If this, and we determined that this was 5 through 9, right? Because if it's 1, 4 at the lowest, you know, the lowest these two could be together, it's 5. At 3, 6, the highest they could be together, it's 9. So 5 through 9. So we have 24 plus 5 is 29 at minimum. 29 at minimum. Or 33, 24 plus 9 at maximum. If it's 33, then this would have to be 12. So what can we add up to make 12? Well, let's see. 4. We'll just do it like this. 4 digits making 12. Either 1, 2, 3, 6 or 1, 2, 4, 5. I don't see any reason it couldn't be either of those. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 6. So like 1, 2, 3, 6. That's fine. And then 1, 2, 4, 5. So either way, we could have either of those be a thing. So let's try to remember that. I mean, I'll just put, I'm just putting that in my phone, the 1, 2, 3, 6, the 1, 2, 4, 5. I say, because I set my phone on my keyboard and changed the volume. Not that there's anything playing, but like a thing popped up. I don't know if it was captured by OBS. So now let's say that this were 5 instead of 6. So at minimum, that's 24, 29. So 29 and 45. So this would have to be, what, 16? Right? Yeah, 16. So let's see what 16 has. 16 has a lot more. I don't really, though, know what to do with that information. I mean, the possibility, I mean, we can remove some things. So this column right here, it doesn't have 7, 8, or 9, so we can get rid of anything that has those. We're left with 1, 4, 5, 6, and 2, 3, 5, 6. Are those both possible? 1, 4, 5, 6, sure. 2, 3, 5, 6. Yeah, those are both possible. So between the minimum and the maximum, we have our possibilities of 1, 2, 3, 6, 1, 2, 4, 5, 1, 4, 5, 6, and 2, 3, 5, 6. So the unfortunate thing is that none of those have a number in common. I mean, like, but between all four of them. They don't all have a 1 because of the 2, 3, 5, 6. And they don't all have a 2 because of the 1, 4, 5, 6. These two have a 5, 6 that we're looking at right now, but the other ones had either a 5 or a 6. So, I mean, so we can't eliminate 6 based off of that because of the 1, 2, 4, 5. That was a possibility before. So why is it saying that we can't have a 6 in this one? And just to confirm, yeah, it won't let us put 6 in there. It says that's wrong. But I don't understand why. And like, since we don't have anything in common between whether this is 12 or 16, we're not going to have anything in common if we went through all of the other possibilities that these two could have been. And yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We already have these limited to just those numbers. We already know that this cage cannot have both a 7 and a 9. We've already eliminated, that one. The only one that had that as a thing. We don't know that this cage needs a 6 because 1, 3, 4, 5, 9 works. 1, 3, 4, 5, 9. Yeah, that works. Just going straight up even. I don't understand what that hint was saying. Because even if I were to take, like, these whole 2 chunks, that's 90. But, great, what do I do with that? What does that mean? Because the only thing of this column that I know, as far as, like, its total, is the 8, and this 7. Like, I know this is 15, and so then this is 30. But, like, I'm pretty sure we already tried this, right? I mean, we'll try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 cells. And it must add up to 30. We know that it can't contain an 8. So getting rid of all that. I mean, and that's all that we know. In common, it contains a 7 and a 9. But none of these three, the 8, obviously, and the 7 combinations, they don't have 7 or 9 in them. So we're left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 within this. And yeah, we have all that. There's nothing else that we could remove of those combinations. And similarly, there are no digits within these cells in this column that we can take out. Don't understand what that hint was saying. Like, I just hate that it starts with row 1, column 2, must be one more than the sum of row 8 and 9, column 1, as though that's obvious. It doesn't explain why it must be one more than the sum of 8 and 9, column 1, which again is these two. It just says, like, oh, it must be one more, therefore it can't be 6. But I don't know what you're trying to tell me. I don't understand the last part either. And any less would not allow row 9, column 1 to be filled. Like, any less than 6? That's not saying that 6 has to go here, because I tested it just to see if I was understanding the hint, and it's not 6. So what does that mean? Row 1, column 2 must be one more than the sum of row 8 and 9, column 1. So it cannot be 6. And any less would not allow row 9, column 1 to be filled. Like, is that saying that 3, if this were 3 and 5, that this can't be filled? Let's try that. Can you be 3 or 5? Can't be 3. Can you be 5? Okay. But I don't know why. It's telling me that, but I don't know how it came to that conclusion. And, you know, I'm not sad, like, yeah, I know that this one up here is 7 now, but I'm not content with that, because, like, if I were, I could just do that with every cell. I could just put in 1 through 9 until it lit up, be like, "Oh, cool," and then move on, but that's not fun. That's not what Sudoku's about. I want to know how they figured that out. I want to understand the logic behind this. Something that concerns me is that, when I was doing this, you know, like, many puzzles ago on my own, there was a hint that ended up actually being wrong. Like, it told me that, you know, cells couldn't be these numbers, and those were actually the solutions. So, I have had a hint that was just wrong before. And I'm not saying this hint is wrong, but I don't understand what it's actually trying to tell me, and it could be wrong. It could be wrong. With this app in particular, so I have the classic Sudoku app by Cracking the Cryptic, and I have this killer Sudoku app. With the classic Sudoku, there's just hint. With killer Sudoku, there's also smart hint, which, you know, like, takes the board as you have it and, like, generates a hint for you based on that. I don't remember if the hint that I got was a smart hint or a normal hint. If it was a normal hint, that's really bad. If it's a smart hint, I could see it being based off of, like, oh, well, I had the wrong cells filled out, you know? Or, like, the cells filled out incorrectly. But, yeah, so it does give me some concern. I just really don't understand what they mean by this and how I would reach that conclusion on my own. Because if I don't understand the hint, then I can't learn from the hint, which means that I can't do better in the future. And so there's no point in taking the hint to begin with. Let's go through some different things. I want to try to add up different possibilities for this column. We know that this is 24 because it's the only complete cage within this column. This one has, like, this one cell that, you know, goes off the rails. This one has 2. But if we're just basing it off of, like, what these 2 could possibly be, and, you know, what these 4 could possibly be, you know, maybe we'll think of something. So if we do 24 plus the maximum of 9 plus the maximum of 18, which is 6 plus 5 plus 4 plus 3, we end up with 51 for this, which in that case, well, it would mean we're 6 over, but that would mean that the extra 6 would be in here, not this. Because I'm not counting, like, the 22. I'm counting this as 18. Which I guess would mean then that this is 4, and so that couldn't be the case. Okay, if we do 6 plus 5 plus 4 plus 3, which is the maximum, that's 18. But then for it to be 22, this would need to be 4, and so that's not possible. So I guess that's not, like, a valid maximum for these 4. So let's do 5 plus 3, or 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2. I'm going to do that real quick. 5 plus 4, I'll just calculate on my phone, plus 3 plus 2, that's 14, which would mean that we would need 8 here in order to, you know, be right, which doesn't work. So 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 is the next, which would be 10, which can't add up. And so in terms of a maximum, we can't just do the numbers that are here. We actually have to look at what this cage can sum up to, I guess. So maximum can't have 7, can't have a 9. I mean, we're just looking at the 4. 2, 3, 4, 6. That'd be 5, 9, 15. So, okay, 15. Try to remember that. That's 9, 15 again. 1, 3, 4, 5. So 4, 8, 13. 3, 7, 13. Okay, so it's either 13 or 15. This right here is either 13 or 15. So we'll take it at its maximum. 15 plus the 24 from the 7, 8, 9 we know, plus the 9 would give us 48. So this would have to be 3. Okay, that's a thing. That could be 3. So now let's do 24 plus 13 as the minimum, plus 5 as the minimum from down here, and that would be 42. So that's actually not good enough. So we'll kick this one up then. We'll make this a little bit higher because, sure. I mean, that would mean that can't be... Does that mean that can't be a 1 and a 4? I mean, I guess it could still be a 1. Let's do 1 and... No, 1 and 5 wouldn't be enough because that would only add 1. 1 and 6 would add 2. I think that does mean this can't be a 1. I think that does, because the maximum these two could be is 7. And so if we did... I mean, like 1 and 6. The maximum 1 and, 1, and then something down here could be a 7. And so if we did 7 plus 24 plus 13, that'd be 44. Oh, no, but that's only because we're doing the minimum from this one as well. So we can't get rid of the one that was down here. Okay. Never mind, I got ahead of myself. If that were the case, though, yeah, 44, that would mean this couldn't be 1. It would need to be a minimum of 2, but, yeah, that's only if we're looking at the minimums. If we're looking at the maximum, just to appease my brain, 24 plus 15, so we would need it to be at least 6. And so it couldn't be 1 and 4, but it could be 1 and 5. And actually could not be 1 and 6 in that case. So if it's minimum, it can't be 1 period. If it's maximum, like with the max up here, it would need to be 1 and 5. So maybe we could try to keep in mind this has to be 1 and 5 if it's a 1 at all. Okay, let's keep going with other things. We have the 24 from the 7, 8, and 9. Let's do another 13 minimum from the top, right? Oh, is there a point to looking at that minimum anymore? Yeah, I guess because we could still look at the other things it could be. So 13 as the minimum plus the 24 equals 37. And so that means that we would need these to be 8. So that's either 3, 5, or 2, 6. So this is the minimum, it's 3, 5, or 2, 6. Okay. And if it's the maximum, gosh, there's so much to like click through. I don't know if it's going to amount to anything. If it's the maximum, we need 6 and can't have more than 6. So that would be 1, 5, 2, 4. Did we ever use 3? Was 3 ever actually a thing that we could use? I don't think that it was. I mean, because it was either we needed 6 or we need... No, we did. It was 3, 5, because that was one of the possibilities if we needed 8 for the minimum of the 22. So we can use 1, 5 to make 6. We can use 2, 4 to make 6. We can use 3, 3, 5 to make 8. We can use 2, 6 to make 8. So everything, yeah, everything in 2.9 can be used depending on whether we're using the minimum or the maximum for this. And despite there being 4 different combinations over here, if we're ignoring the 7 and the 9, which only exists in this cell outside of the column we're looking at, it is only 13 or 15. Ooh, okay. Well, in that case, if this is only 13 or 15, then can't this only be 7 or 9? Is that correct? Yeah, if this is only 13 or 15. If it's 13, then we would need 9 to equal 22. If it's 15, then we would need 7 to equal 22. So not only are we getting rid of the 6 from this one, we're getting rid of the 3 and the 5 as well. Right? I don't know what the hint means as far as this cell needs to be exactly 1 more than the sum of these two. But based upon just like knowing this is either 13 or 15 and saying this then has to be either 7 or 9, I don't think this can be 3, 5, 6. So let's make that 7, 9 pair. Oh, I could have figured that out a long time ago. Oh no, I could have totally figured that out a long time ago because this was the only possibility with 7 and 9. I mean, like, there's no 7 or 9 in here. And since these either end with a 7 or a 9, I had to have... like, there couldn't have been overlap. These had to... Son of a gun! I could have known that for forever ago without having to do all of this sum BS. Gosh dang it. Okay. So here's the bright side. 579, 579, 79. We have a triple, which means that nothing else in this box can contain a 5, a 7, or a 9. So now this is a 3-6. Can I do anything with that 3-6 right away? I don't know. I mean, we can say at least whatever, you know, this ends up being, it has to have a 3 or a 6 and a 7 or a 9. 3 or 6, 7 or 9 works out. 3 or 6, 7 or 9 works out. 3, yep. Okay. That did all work out, which is kind of unfortunate, but hey, whatever. We still technically found something new, and it had been forever since we had found anything new, so I'm gonna take it. But I don't know if that means if there's anything else we can actually do from that. I mean, could I do a similar thing here? No, because I've already gotten rid of, like, the 1, 2, 3. I was just trying to do the shortcut of, like, you know, this one had to be 7 or 9 because they all ended with either 7 or 9. But, like, I already have this as 1, 2, 3. I've already gotten rid of, like, all the other numbers, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 kind of thing. So I don't know if there's anything else that could actually be done with that. I guess, for the heck of it, I won't drag you along. I'll do this little bit on my own because it's the same thing that we were just doing. But I'll see what the minimum and the maximum for this, like these 4 cells are, and see if we can further deduce what this one might be based upon that. So yeah, I'm gonna go through all this. Hold on. I mean, yeah, it's as I thought. Like, we weren't wrong. You can just read it straight up. This has to be either 1, 2, or 3 because this is either 28, 27, or 26, and the whole thing has to add up to 29. So yeah, we didn't learn anything from that. We just confirmed what we already knew. I don't think there's anything special that we can do with, like, the 8 and 9 back here. I mean, we have a 9 here too, so that makes it even, like, less useful for us. I can't believe I missed this for so long. How many other things are just staring me in the face right now? So just to go back to this hint, when it says this one can't be 6 and any less would not allow row 9, column 1 to be filled, I assume that means that this one cannot be 6 or 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But I still don't really know what bearing that has on specifically, you know, row 9, column 1. Like, that's just this cell right here. You know? So I don't know what it's expecting. I just don't understand its logic with its math. And it's this kind of thing that makes me think, like, I must be missing out on so many different techniques. Because obviously there's just me being oblivious in a lot of cases and just not noticing things. That 100% happens, you know? But, like, what other techniques are there that I could potentially take advantage of to help me find these things? You know, to help me cover some of my blind spots. That's what I don't know. I mean, it also makes me wonder, so, like, row 1, column 2 must be 1 more than the sum of row 8 and 9, column 1, which again is right here, these two. That doesn't tell me what these two numbers are or what their possibilities are. Like, this hint could be assuming that I've already filled these out. And so I would know exactly what that 1 more would be. You know? It could be assuming that. But like I obviously don't know. And considering that the way that I currently have it with 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, it could be anywhere between 5 and 9. If that one has to be one more, you know, then like, well, it can't be 10. That's for sure. We've eliminated everything but 7 and 9. And so like we could get 8, and that would give us 9. If we're going to say, you know, if we're saying these two are 8, this has to be one more, so that'd be 9. But we could also get 6. So if we're saying these are 6, one more has to be 7. So yeah, this just seems like it's making a lot of assumptions about how far I've, you know, what progress I've already made. Okay, to go back on what I was just saying, because I was thinking about it more, and I think I'm just like having like cyclical realizations sort of thing. You know, we know this is 24. We determined that these 4 either need to be 13 or 15. And so in that case, these 2 need to add up to either 6 or 8. The hint was saying that this one had to be exactly one more than the sum of these 2. So if these 2 are 6, then this is 7. If these 2 are 8, then this is 9. So technically, like I was just saying that this could be anywhere between 5 and 9, but that's, you know, not true if you take into account the rest of the column. And I guess that's what it was assuming I had done. So, yeah. There you go. That's all I really wanted to say. Still didn't figure out anything new, but yeah, I think I understand a little bit more. I think I do. So, the hint was saying, right, that this one had to be... Oh, wait, well, really quick, I should say, I actually, because I didn't think about this until just now, I don't get why it has to be one more than the sum of these 2. I don't know why it has to be one more than the sum of these 2. Because what I was understanding was like, this column is almost complete, as I've highlighted it, right? It's only these 2 away and like this one extra, if we're not going to count these 3, right? And so in that case, I could think, okay, since we need these 2 and we have this extra, then they must like cancel each other out. So, you know, whatever this one is, these ones have to be. But that's actually not the case, because these are one less than this. Dang it, I thought I had figured it out. Why does it have to be one less? I don't understand that part. This is why it has to be one more. Because if you look at the entirety of the 24 cage and the 22 cage, they equal 46, which is one more than 45. Whereas if we just had this, this would be 45. So that's why this one has to be exactly one more than these 2. Okay, I get that now. I don't know if I could find that kind of thing on my own, but at least now... At least now I understand what it was trying to tell me. Okay, that's good. Cool. And we could also see, like, okay, 2 digits, you either have to be 6, so, you know, 1524, which we already knew, or 8, 172635. Well, we don't have 17, but I don't think that matters because we don't know that it's 8, so I don't think we could rule out the 1. 2635. Yeah, because we kept both of you. 1524. I mean, so 2 is the only one that's consistent, I believe. Seeing as we don't have the 7 for the 1 to play off of. I mean, I guess the 5 too. The 2 and the 5 are consistent. But, like, it can't be 2 and 5, because then that would be 7, and we need this to be one more. I don't think we have enough information to deduce which ones these are. And don't get me wrong, I know which ones they are, because, you know, I clicked through different solutions just to see if the hint was completely BSing, or if it actually was onto something. And yeah, so I know what these 2 are individually. But we need to actually figure it out, you know? We can't just go with it because we clicked and got them. We gotta know why. I'm thinking though that should mean that I can do the same thing with these other sides and corners or whatever, you know? Because they follow the same shape. So it's like here, you know, this is all 46, so it's one more than 45. So that should mean that these two have to equal, like the sum of these have to equal this plus 1. Right? That's my understanding of it. Or similarly, you know, we have this, right? And so I would think that these two have to equal this. Oh wait, I didn't see if it was plus 1. No, 10. This is 10 less than 45. So this would be 45. This is 10 less than 45. So that means these two have to equal this plus 10. So it's either 11, 12, or 13. Okay. So 2, 11 would be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Cool. That doesn't help us out, really. 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. And this is just me looking like 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, not saying the pairs. And 13. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, well, we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What was 12? 3, 4, 5. We don't have 3, so we can get rid of that one at least. I don't know if we can actually get rid of any possibilities, though. Like, we don't have the 2 or the 9. No, we have the 9, sorry. We don't have the 2. We don't have the 3. So it's either 4, 7, 5, 6, 4, 8, 5, 7, or 4, 9, 5, 8, 6, 7. Yeah, I mean, we didn't. I don't know of any way we could eliminate numbers based on that. Bummer. I mean, like, it's very possible that the reason it gave us this one as the hint was because this was the only one that would, like, let us deduce things about it. But, who knows? Who knows? Trying more of that strategy again. I wasn't able to figure out anything with this. So now I'm looking at this one. If this is 33, so, you know, 12 less than 45, then these two, by that logic, should equal this plus 12. So if this is a 1, then 1 plus 12 is 13, which we could get by 6 and 7. So that works. If it's a 2, then 2 plus 12 is 14, which we can't get, because 3, 7 is 10, 3, 9 is 12, 6, 7 is 13, 6, 9 is 15. So I think that means we can remove the 2 from this. I think that's saying that 2 cannot possibly go there, you know? If it's a 3, that means that it's 15, which is, you know, 6 and 9, that works. If it's 4, 4 plus 12 is 16, and we can't get that, because that would have to be 7 and 9, and that's in the same cell, so I don't think this can be a 4 either. So I think that, you know, I think this has to be either a 1 or a 3. Which in that case means that from this we can get rid of the 2 and the 4. Because there wasn't a 2 or 4 anywhere else in there. It was only in this cell. So now 1, 3, 5, 8, 9. So let's get rid of the 7s that were there, and let's get rid of the 6s that were there. So here we have 3, 5, 8, 9. Or excuse me, was that just 3, 5, 9? 3, 5, 9. 3, 5, 9. And then these ones are all 3, 5, 8, 9. But since we got rid of numbers there, let's see, 6s now. 6s can only go here, which means that 6s cannot go here, which means that a 6 has to go here. 6 went there. It worked. We got a number. That's great. Okay. And based on this one, if it needs to have a 6, it cannot be 1, 3, 4, 5, 9. yeah, we still have all the other digits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. And yeah, and we had everything but the 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. Okay, that's good. Looking at 6 again. I think we've done all that we can for now with that. 7 is another we got rid of. This one has to be 7 then, because as you can see from this, row 1 doesn't have a 7 anywhere except for here, so this has to be 7. It is! Okay, so now we know that this cannot have a 9. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We still have all that. Cool. But that's great news for us. Okay, 7s. We're almost done. This one has to be 7 then. Good. Did we already have a 5, 9? I don't think we had 5, 9 before, but it doesn't look like it clears anything new out for us. Still happy. 7s. So this either has to be 6 or 7 or some other third thing, it looks like. So we're just looking at that. Yeah, 6 had to be there. 7 has to be there. 8, I think we're at the same place we were before. 9 looks the same as well. Okay, go through each of them real quick. But see, like, now I am glad that I looked at that hint, because I did not know about that I did not know about that trick, you know? Like, I knew about, you know, to an extent about, like, adding up cages together, and then through the difference, you know, you can find what certain possibilities might be. But I didn't know the whole where it's like, oh, if there's just one thing hanging over, then you could say, well, this is equal to this plus however many or minus however many, you know? Because in this case, we actually had to add 12. And in this case, you know, we had to subtract 1 from whatever this one was. Oh, which, by the way, now that we know that this is a 7, we know that this has to be a 6. So this one can't be a 3. Oh, wrong one. So it's either 1, 5 or 2, 4. And I'm just going to make that there. Either 1, 5 or 2, 4. This one can't have a 3 then. There is no other 3 in any of that cage. So let's get rid of all the 3s there. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Of course, we still have all of those as possibilities. Still cool. Still cool to know. Again, I'm aware of what these 2 digits are, but we're going to act like we don't know and continue to solve it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We almost have a quadruple or whatever, but we don't because of the 5 that's here. But that's fine. Right, we were looking through these, that's right. I will continue to do that thing because that could be super useful. Or it might give us nothing, but you know, who knows. Okay, here's another thing that's super awesome. We get another number. This has to be 7, just because that's what the cage is. 7 plus 7 is 14. 14 plus 6 is 20. So that means that this has to be 25 in order for the whole row to be 45. And since this cage is 26, this has to be 1. Ha ha ha! Cool. Which means that the 3 is somewhere up here, along with the 5, 8, 9. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And now we could do a little thing with the 1s too, because this is the one has to be one of these 2. So that means we can get rid of these 3 1s. Let's do that real quick. Cool. Which does also mean that this cage has to have a 1 in it. I mean, and not only does it have to have a 1 in it, but the 1 has to be in here. So like this one can't be a 1. But let's go through then, get rid of all the ones that don't include a 1. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we can get rid of the 5s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Everything else is good. Cool. I don't think we can do much more with that. Yeah, nothing else in common, but let's see where we are with 5s. We could almost do something more down here, but it's this cage that's throwing it off. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go back to looking through more stuff. I mean, one thing we can do is we know that this cage needs to have a 9, and we know that 9 can only be in one of these 3. And so we can remove the 9 from these 2 over here. Doesn't quite clear anything out for us, but it's still something. Now that we know that this cage needs a 2 3 4 and a 2 3 4, let's go through these. So 2 3 4 2 3 4. Nope. 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 Yes, 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 yes. Okay. So it's one of these. Nothing in common, unfortunately. I guess we also could have determined that by the fact that there is no 1. That's like it can't have a 1 anymore. But look, different ways to do things. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it has everything aside from the 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. Okay. If it does have an 8, it has to be there. But that doesn't really mean anything right now, I don't think. Okay, yeah. So let's keep on looking. Oh, here's something. Okay, so actually we need a 1 in this 1, 2, 3, because that's like from the start, that was all it could be. And now 1 cannot go here, so 1 has to go in here. Like it's one of these two, so that means that none of these can be a 1. Cool. Yeah, that cleared up the board a little bit more. That's nice. And that means since we cleared out the 1, this 10 cage cannot have a 9, because it just can't be 1, 9. Could still be 2, 8, 3, 7, 4, 6. Yep. Since there's no 7 over here because of this one, we could get rid of the 3 on this side. It's a minor thing, but it could potentially come into play at some point. Oh, I didn't know about that. Okay, so I was looking into this stuff more. And like based upon what we know up here, we know that these two have to be 6. Since this is a 29 cage, that means that these 3 have to be 23. So 3 digits 23. Apparently, the only solution for that is 6, 8, 9, which means that here we can get rid of the 4 and the 5s and the 7s that we have. So we know that this is either a 6 or a 9 now, and this is a 6, 8, 9. And that's good because now we can get rid of the 6 and the 8 over here. So now we have 4, 5, 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7. That's cool. I don't think, it doesn't clear up anything more with this row, but it's just always nice to get rid of things. With this one, is there anything we can do now that we know 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7? We can get rid of this. We can get rid of this. 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 We're actually able to do quite a bit with that. That's cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Of course, we still have every single possibility. Oh, it can't have a 1, though. Can't have a 1. Cool, that's something. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So still basically everything. But, not quite anymore. It must have a 5. We know that now. That's the only thing that it must have currently. And unfortunately, 5 can go in any of those. So, that part's not great. But still, we did narrow this down pretty significantly. And like now that we know that there's no 7, we could just get rid of those. So it's either 1, 5, 6, 8, 9. 1, 5, 6, 8, 9. Yeah, that obviously works. And 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Yeah. Wow. Okay. I know what these two are. I just don't know how to. I don't know how to determine it through Sudoku logic. So now that we've narrowed down these two, let's relook at this whole thing. So this is 1 more than 45. So these two have to equal this plus 1. Okay, cool. We already know that's 1. So it's either 3. Wait, they have to equal this plus 1? Well, then it can only be 3, right? And this can only be 4. Because, okay, hold on. Maybe I'm thinking of it backwards. So all of this is 46. And this is supposed to be 45. I think this has to be 4 and then the other 3. No, what? What am I getting so wrong? This is 46. And this is 45. Like I took a minute away from the computer to like feed the cats. And I already don't remember like how this works. I mean, to be fair, I have been doing this for like 4 hours straight, considering I went from the last Sudoku puzzle straight into this one, and I haven't like taken breaks for either of them, aside from again that like feeding the cats. 46. So the whole thing. Oh no, wait. This was it. This has to be these plus one. Oh, that's what it was. That's what I had. I think I had it backwards. Yeah. So these two added together is this plus one. So if you're 4, well, you can't be 4 actually. That's what I'm gathering. If you're 6, then you're 7. Well, in that case, then you have to be 7 because you can't be 10 and you can't be 11. You have to be 7. What? Are you 5? Son of a gun! How are you 5? Oh, because 3 plus 1 is 4, and then plus 1 could make it 5. Right. Yeah, okay. Well, so now we know what it is, but let's pretend that we don't. So we have 4 here. So this one cannot be 4 because there's nothing low enough for, these to add together, and then you add 1, and then so it can't be 4. There's just nothing low enough there. But then yeah, we have the 3 and 1 can make the 5, and that works. 5 and 1 would make 6, and so the 7 works. But 8 and 9 would not work. So let's remove 8 and 9 from this. So good. Let's see, does that do anything more for us? Not immediately. And down there we got rid of the 4. And so we're left with just this. But that still doesn't give us any new answers. It did definitely help narrow things down. Just not by a lot. Well, I mean, I guess actually, no, we're close to being able to get rid of stuff, but I don't think quite. Because, we know it's 1, 3, 5, 8, 9. We know this is 1, so these have to be 3, 5, 8, 9. One of these are 8, we know that. But then, the other one could be 9, or this could be 9. Any of them could be 3, 5. There's nothing more in the row that, like, limits that further. And then here, it's like 5, 7, 5, 6, 7, 9, but 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we can't find any, like, it doesn't seem like there's any cool double, triple, or quadruple there. 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. We just need one more 2, 3, or 2, 3, 4, or 3, 4. But, we have, like, too many of them. And so we can't do anything with it. Okay, here's another thing. 7 sevens. We could pay attention to that. I don't mean 7 sevens, I just mean sevens, but I was excited, so I said it twice. 7 has to be one of these two. So it can't be anywhere else in here. Ah ha ha ha. Alright, that's all. Carry on. So I'm trying now to logic out this. In the same way that we were doing the other things, where, it's like, this is the sum of these two plus whatever, The way I see it is, this 7 here can just be the substitute for this 7, because again, if you don't, you need the complete cage if you wanted to tell you the thing, and since they're both 7, like, whatever. But we're dealing with this cell, and this cell. So right now, again, we can imagine it like this. And this was what, 5? 5 more than 45? Yeah, it's 50, so 5 more than 45. So this cell has to equal these two, or was it these? Oh, shoot. I mean, I guess if we were going to do it, either like this is these 2 plus 5, or these 2 is this plus 5, like it would have to be these 2 are this plus 5, because otherwise it just would not work at all. Because Because if this one has to be 5 or 9, at the minimum, it would be 6 plus 5, 11. You know, you can't have 11 in a single cell. So, if it's 6, then these would need to be 11. So this would have to be 5 and 6, or 9 and 2. If it were 8, then they would have to be 13. So that's 5 and... Okay, we don't have an 8. 9 and 4. So... I mean, I think we could just get rid of all the other possibilities then, right? Because we were saying if it was 6, it would be 11, so it would be either 6, 2, and then in the other case, it could only be 9, because 5, you know, would have to be with 8. So 2, 6, 4. So this has to be 2, 6, 4. And I'm going to check real quick any of those. Is it 2? It's not 2. Is it 6? It's not 6. Is it 4? It's not 4. So my logic was wrong. Like, I did the math wrong or something, or just it doesn't work that way if you don't have, like, the full setup that the neat corner one had. I don't know. Oh my gosh, I'm so dumb. I didn't notice. There's an 8 there, so this has to be 6. What? Are you 9? You're 9, aren't you? Son of a gun. Why didn't I have a 9 there? I don't see a reason that I would have gotten rid of that 9. When did I get rid of the 9? All right, let's add the 9 back. Ugh. Okay. So, let's try this thing again. Now that we have the proper numbers. First, let's get rid of the 8. Let's get rid of the 8. That can't be 8. New thing. So it's not now... Whoops. It's not now 11 and 13. It's now 11 and 14. Okay? So 11 and 14. So there's no 9. So in the case of 14, it can't be 5. But in the case of 14, this could be 9, 5. For 11, it could still be 5, 6. And 9, 2. But if it's 14, so like if this is 9, which we know that it is, because yeah, then that would mean this would have to be 9, and this one 5. So that's a thing. I was just saying if there's anything else that I could do to try to figure that out nearby, but I'm not seeing it just yet. Man, that was dumb. First because I didn't see the 8, and then because the 9 had... You know what it probably was? Maybe I tried to get rid of the 8 when I saw it there, you know? But like I just misclicked and hit 9 instead. That could definitely happen. But just in case, I'm going to go through each of these again, just refresh the number so that it'll delete anything that should be deleted, you know, within its line of sight. All right, well, I mean, hey, we did figure something out, which is pretty cool. But it was just fixing a mistake that I didn't even know we had made. So let's get back to looking. Also, yeah, we've officially reached 3 hours on this puzzle. I mean, so at the very least, we should be able to eliminate things in that one cell we were looking at. So we know, again, it was either 5, 6, 9, 2 or 9, 5. So this is 2, 6, or 5. So we can get rid of 1, 3, 4, 7. That's not nothing. That leaves us with 2, 5, 6 here. So I'm just going to make that 2, 5, 6 like that. Can't do anything with that yet. We'll come back around to it. Oh, I mean, I guess I could say now that we got rid of the 7 that was here, 7 can only go here, so 7 cannot go up here. So this is either 7, 3, or this one has a 7. And I don't know if we could do anything about that just yet. Let's see. If this is 2, 8, then it couldn't be this one. But if it's 6, 4, it couldn't be this one. If it's 3, 7, it couldn't be this one. Yeah, I don't think there's anything that we could do just yet to eliminate things from that. just because it has this cell going up. If it were just a straight 4 cell, then yeah, we could eliminate a lot with these. But because of that bend, you know, like with the 2-8, we could get rid of the 8 here, but like it could just be up here instead. And you know, you'd have 1, 4, 7, 8. But we eliminated some things. That's good. That's good. See if we can do anything with this one, because it's a little like weirdly broken up. But with this being 2, 3, 4, this one 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, we know that that together is 9. So then we know 5, 9. You know, this is 14. So we're at 23 total. That's 30. That would be 38, and that's 39 over there, right? Did I count the 14? Shoot. Let me let me go through it again. I'll highlight them as I go this time. So we have 14, 15. This would get 24. This would be 38. This then would be... Are we already at 45? And then there's an 8. Let me get my calculator, make sure I added that correctly. Well, I mean, it makes sense that the other line would be 45. The other line would be 45. Don't pay attention to that sound. I mean, I guess the issue is we know that this line is 45, but we don't know what these two cells are, because we at least know this one's 8 as well. So that's 17 more than 45. We can get rid of the 8 mentally, so that's 9 more than 45. We just have the 2 cells as options. Oh, it boggles my brain trying to come up with what that actually is. Like, I can't be trying to say that this is equal to these two plus 9, or that these two are equal to this plus 9. I guess I could if I have these two. Okay, let's go with that. These two. That. Equal to this other one, plus 9. So if it's 2, that would mean 11, so we could have 5, 6. And that would be all that we could do. If it's 3, it's 12. We couldn't do a 12 with what we have. If it's 4, which should mean that can't be 3. Should mean that can't be 3. If this is, if this is 4, then that's 13, so we could do 6, 7. So first I'm going to say that this one can't be 3. And so now we need either 11 or 13. So that's 5, 6, and that's all that we can do there. And then 6, 7. So so these can't be 8 or 9? Is that what? I'm going to say, all right, these can't be 8 or 9. Let's try that. So get rid of all the 8s and 9s. We're left with 2, 4, 6, 7, or 3, 4, 5, 7. So 2, 4, 6, 7, 3, 4, 5, 7. All right. I mean, sure, we don't know yet. This could be completely wrong. I'm going to go with it. Oh, and if this is correct, we now have 5, 7, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7. So we can go through all of these and get rid of those digits. So 5, 6, 7, 6, 7. So because we got rid of those, 5 and 6 is gone already. 7's gone, which means we have to get rid of the 4s as well. We still have the 9, 2 one way, and then the 8, 3 two ways. Does that change anything up for where different numbers can go? A little bit, but I didn't look too thoroughly. So we'll check it out another time. I really hope that this was accurate and that this one can't be 3. Speaking of, 3 now can only go down here, which should mean that none of these can be 3, which if we're correct, 3 has to be here, not that. Here. Oh! All right, let's back that up then. Are you 3 by chance? Of course you're 3. The only thing that we eliminated. So let me bloody get back all of that 5, 6, 7 nonsense. All right. What did I do wrong? 17 more than 45. If we get rid of the 8, it's 9 more than 45. Oh, I mean, I guess actually we didn't have this one included. We didn't have this one. So that would actually be 10 more than 45. So that would mean that presumably these two have to be this plus 10, not plus 9. And if that's the case, 2 plus 10 is 12. We can't have a 12, which means that can't be 2. 3 plus 10 is 13, 6, 7. We can have 13. 4 plus 10 is 14, 9, 5. We could have 14. So that means the only one here it can't be is 2. 2. Which isn't as, like, helpful to clear out as the whole 5, 6, 7 thing. Or, well, no, we didn't do that part yet. Let's go back. Okay, 13, 6, 7. 14, 5, 9. So it just can't be 8? No, because you could have 8, 5 be the 13 as well. It could be 6, 7, or 8, 5. And then for 14, yeah, 9, 5 works. Okay, so and it can't be 7, 7 again, just because you can't have the same in a cage. You can't duplicate that. Nor could you have them right by each other, even if this were normal Sudoku, just for the 1 for each column rule. Okay. Fair enough, so we didn't eliminate anything there. Presumably, though, we got rid of a 2 there, which actually should mean that this is the only 2 in this row, so then this can't be 2, and this has to be 2. So now it should just be 2, 4, 6, 7, which means get rid of the 5, 8, and 9. Oh, and the 3 up here. Oh, and that's how we determine, really quickly, 6, 7, that this is 3, because if this is 2, 4, then nothing else in here can be 2, 4. And this can't be 2, 4. So 2, 4, 2, 4, you are 3, but we actually figured out why you're 3. And then similarly, this one can't be 6, 7. And so we already get the 5 down there. That's cool. 6, 7, unless I messed up a different thing. 5. Yes, 5. Good. Woo. And then you're 4. And then you're 7. Good. All right. We figured some things out. And since we know that this was going to be 6, we know that that's 2 because this one was the 4. So then you're 1. You're 5. You're now a 2, 4 pair with this one up here, which means that none of you can be 2, 4. 2, 4. 2, 4. Cool. Okay. Good. That's a thing. Oh, and once again, because this couldn't be, these can't be 6 anymore, can't be 5 either. Since it can't be 7, these can't be 4. We still have the 9, 2 one way or the 8, 3, just like last time. We know that this cage now needs to have either a 2 or a 4. I mean, it could have both, but it needs to have at least one of those. So we can get rid of any that doesn't have a 2 or a 4. Which was not a lot, but that's still something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, didn't get rid of anything. Do we have all that stuff here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We do. Okay. This cage needs to have either a 5 or a 6 because of that, so we can get rid of the 1, 2, 4, 7. I would say that gets rid of the 7, but apparently the 7 was already gone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that all checks out. Nothing in common, so we can't do anything more with that for now. Oh, though we know actually that this one, this can't be a 2 because the 5 is in this box. So this 7, this can't be 5. And so this has to be 2 because that's the only 2 that was left. And so we know now that this has to have a 2. So get rid of that. So now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they both have 5. We can rule that at least. And since this has to, one of these has to be 5, so this one can't be 5. Cool. Oh, 5 actually has to be up here, so this one can't be 5 either. So it's one of these two. Let's go through. So 1, 2, 5, 6 would work. 2, 3, 4. We don't have a 4 in here. Oh, we don't. 1, 2, 5, 6. Okay, so let's get rid of the 3. So you're 1, 6. You're 1, 5, 6. And since we have 1, 6, 1, 5, 6, 5, 6, that actually means that we can get rid of 1, 5, 6 from all of these. So 1, 5, 6. So then you have to be 9. You have to be 8. You have to be 6, 7, 3. Cool. You're 5. You're 9. Since this is now 1, 6, 1, 6, this has to be 5. And that means that these cannot be 1 or 6. So these have to be 3, 4. Which means that none of these can be 3, 4. And they already are not. Wizard, good for you. These are now 1, 7, 6 together. Cool. Probably doesn't matter, just given everything else, but I'll put it down anyway. This one has to have a 3, so we can get rid of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. So no 6 in here. Cool. Everything else, so that does stick. Make you 45 and you 245. Because you never know when you'll be able to do something with that. Oh, and you can be 3, 4. So you can't be 8. Oh, actually, you're 3. And you're 7. That's just because there wasn't another thing left where it could like add up properly. 4, 2, 1, 4. This one needs to have a 4, so we can get rid of everything that does not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow, you are. You're annoying. That's what you are. You two are 3, 8, which means that we can get rid of the 3, 8 anywhere there. Or in these, if there are any. So that one's actually 9 up there. That's cool. 3, 8. 3, 8. So you're 9. 3, 5, 3, 5. So that means you're 8. So 8 can only be there. So that means that 8 cannot be anywhere in here. You have to be 5. You have to be 4. You're 8, 9. So 9 cannot be anywhere in there now either. And you have to be 6. Because of the 8, 9, you can't be 8, you know? So you're 8. 3, 9, 3, 6, 9, 3, 6, 9. Okay. This has to have a 3 or a 9. So I guess we could go through and like eliminate some things. Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What do you know? Still can have everything. But we're getting really close now. We're nearing the end of this. So yeah, you're 1, 2. We'll make didn't mean to do that. Okay, well now I know what you are, but I didn't mean to put it down. So 1, 2. And you're 1, 4. And together, like we have 1, 2, 1, 4, 2, 4. So we have another triple, but we already don't have other instances of those 3 numbers in this column, so can't do anything with it. Like cool to point out, I guess, but you know. 3, 5, 6, 4, 6, 9, 4, 5, 6, 9. So you don't have an 8 anymore. So we got rid of those. 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. So you don't have a 7. So you're just 5, 6, 9 now. I believe that's correct. So I'm going to get rid of that. Going to get rid of that. So we have 5, 6, 6, 9, 5, 6, 9. Cool. So then you are 5, 6. You're 6, 9. You're 5, 6, 9. Which means that none of you can have any of those. So 5, 6, 9. So you have to be 3. Good. Every time I say something has to be a number, like I hold my breath before, I mean, I don't actually, but you know, figuratively I hold my breath as I go to press it because I'm like, I just said it with such confidence, and I've been wrong in the past. But we are wrapping, I just pressed the wrong one. Wrapping this up. I fat fingered them both. really nicely now. So you're 5 because of this 1717 pair. So you're 5. So you're 589, which means that you're a 1. You're 7, you're 2, you're 6, you're 7, 5, 5. We are nearing the end here. So close. I just have to not miss obvious things. Stop missing obvious things. Okay, you're 5. So yeah, 6, 9. Got that. I don't think there's anything more we could do here. I mean, we have this triple, and then we have 2 pairs. Oh, we could do something here. 3, 4, 5. So you're a 1. So then you're 7. You're 6. You're 7. You're 4. You're 3. You're 1. You're 6. 3, 4, 3, 8, 9, 6, 8, 9, 9, 8. Wow, that only took me 201 minutes to complete, but there we have another killer Sudoku puzzle. Man, that took a lot of effort. Holy cow. But it's done. We did it. Yeah, LOL was so much easier. 85 minutes, bloody 201 minutes. I started this in the afternoon, and now it's past when I usually eat dinner. So I'm going to go do that. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you would like to see more videos of Sudoku, let me know, I suppose. I mean, like, do let me know, please. I can't guarantee either way whether I will or will not have any more videos. Because, you know, like, I'll admit, this was fun for me. I hope you guys don't terribly mind that I haven't had my webcam up. I just didn't think it very necessary, and I don't have a proper setup just yet, and so I didn't want to mess with it. But yeah, thank you again for watching. With that, we're calling it here. So have a good one, everybody.